Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm so excited to show you how to make this lovely cocoa mug Christmassy earring. Let me get this in focus here. And let's enlarge this a tick. There we go, so you can see. So I even put the marshmallows in the cocoa. And that's what it looks on the bottom, and the candy cane. So I'm going to use some of the findings that we got in the Curiosities box. This was the, I love this bow. So I wanted to make sure I incorporated it. And once I made the cup, I was like, how am I going to hang it? Like what? So of course, it's a gift. So we're going to make one of these using the Crystal Lane strand of findings and crystals. So these are so beautiful. And with these, you could make earrings just with these alone. You don't have to add anything else. So that's pretty cool. And I scooped some beads from this bag of beads that they included as well. So there's so much stuff in the Curiosity box. I was like, I'm so bad. I'm like, I want to make one thing of everything, right? It would take me forever. But anyway, so I want to get started on this because it does take a little bit of time, but they're all things that you can do if you follow. Even if you haven't tried peyote stitch before, this is a lovely way to start because I will walk you through the design itself, so you don't have to worry about that. And I also have a little grid to show you how to go through it. I did this little cheat sheet for myself because I find the sheets that you get to do them are turned this way, but I stitch sideways like this. So that confuses me. If you're like me, it confuses you too. Then I thought if we did it this way, let me know if you have a trick to figuring out how to do a pattern on one of these sheets and how to work through it. But we'll get through it. So let's go through the items that you're going to need. You're going to need an ear wire and your findings to attach to your cup. You're going to need an 8mm bead of any sort that's round to fit inside the cup. So I made this one I did like two rows too long, so it's a little big for, you can see. So the one we're going to do is going to fit perfectly. It's going to be oriented perfectly. So you do need something to put in there. If you don't have, this is an 8mm pearl, just a really inexpensive one. If you don't have that, you can always take a piece of saran wrap and squish it up and put it inside the cup. You can do that too. That makes it even lighter. This makes this slightly heavier, but that's not a big deal. You're going to need some delicas for the cup itself. I'm using these lovely John Bead delica size 11. They are white pearl AB, and I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but for me, like, these just sparkle pinks and blues, like pastels. I don't know if you can see on these, and for the bottom of the cup, let's use this cup to show you the bottom of the cup. We're going to do a round, so we're going to use round beads. These are just 11/0 white round beads. And for the cocoa, we're going to do the exact same round circle. We're going to use 11/0 brown seed beads. For the candy cane, you're going to use 15/0 seed beads. So I have some white and red ones. And then for the image in the peyote, we're going to use delicas. So you're going to need a red delica and a green delica, and you can see you don't need that many. So, and I'm using, when I do the chocolate cocoa for the top, I used my Nymo thread. I did, let me see if this is the one. Yeah, so this one I did with white thread. So you can see, I thought maybe attaching the marshmallows, it would be nice if if the thread was white, but actually I found it distracted from the brown cocoa. So when I did this one, I used the brown thread, and you can see the difference. There's no white inside that cocoa. So anyway, that's like, those are all like kind of minute choices that you need to make. But if this is all new, then I know some people are like, yeah, I like to know exactly what to do, just tell me. So let's get started. We're going to start on our peyote strip. You're going to need 8 beads across, and we're going to do 16 rows, which means 16 on the bottom, or sorry, 8 on the bottom, 8 on the top. But I'll walk you through that, so don't worry. And I'll do my best to get the instructions in the description for things like how many beads to start on your peyote stitch and stuff like that. Because I know some of that's like, oh, you have to rewind the video and go through. I know you're not there sitting there taking notes. If you are, you're doing pretty good. So I have this looks like a size 12 needle, nice and bent. Oh, I should say, for the main part, I'm using this crystal number 6, but you know what? You can use just plain white Nymo thread. It'd be fine. And you need a stop bead. So I've attached my stop bead, and I have a little bit of maybe a 6-inch tail, just enough to weave back in. So let's bring the camera down a bit, and you need your scissors, of course. Oh, and a head pin to attach stuff. So there's my head pin. So let's get our delicas out. Let's try and remember to put them on the right hand side. There's those. So we're going to start with 8 beads, and we're going to do 6 rows of white before we start our pattern. So we'll get started on that. Let's pick up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know, did I say 6? 6 rows, but we're starting with 8. So let's enlarge this and bring this down. And I'm gonna see, and I'm gonna take a look to make sure there's enough light. It seems really dark. Let's try that. Okay, so bring those down to your stop bead, like that. You're going to pick up your next bead. So this is just basic peyote stitch, but if you've not done it before, we'll go nice and slow so you can see. So you have your 1 bead on there. You're going to skip your first bead, and you're going to go into your second bead, like that. And it's going to sit right next to the other one. Behave. Just like that. So this is so tiny. You only have 8 beads. Yeah, don't be cursing my name. Okay, next one, pick up a bead. You're coming out of this bead. You're going to skip that one, and you're going to go through the next one. And I'll tell you what, because there's a pattern in it, you might want to, first of all, you can take a screenshot of this, but you might want to hold your work in the same orientation, or remember we started with the stop bead on the bottom. I just say that because I have a really hard time figuring out patterns for peyote. I can do it. Like I can just like pick them up and put them on the way I want them. But I get confused when I see them on a graph, and I'm not sure what that's all about. It's like that anxiety math that people have, and I feel like this is way too dark. I gotta stop doing videos at night, I think. That's weird. Okay. So there you go. Now we'll go up. This part goes really fast. So let's count this as 2. I was trying to decide which row this was. The idea is to do a couple of rows before you start your pattern, just so that you can orient where you're going to join your, like add your handle to your mug and your candy cane, so that the holly berries are visible as well, so everything is seen. So that's the only reason for that. You can start it wherever you want. Oh, just keep going. That kitty fur. So now it's pretty easy. You're just filling in those slots with the beads. That. And I don't know if you can see, it's really in person, you can really see all the different colors of the AB. Oh. So I got a package today from my sister Sylvia in Toronto, and in it was a catnip toy, and we've not given the cat catnip. I think the odd time neighbors have given us toys for the cat, and it had catnip in it, but it was probably pretty weak. But this stuff was so strong, so the cat was just rolling on top of it like crazy. I'm trying to flash the colors. The colors are just stunning. You can do this cup in any color too. So I did like do some searching on Pinterest to see if I could find any other beaded cups like this. And I found some polymer clay ones, and they had some that were like a blue color, and it looked really nice, and they had like drips of chocolate. I tried to figure out how to do that so that it looked real, but it's hard with the beads being so small already. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows now. So let me see where my pattern is, and if we should start now or do one more row. You know what? The pattern, so I'm showing the pattern this way. The pattern's actually incorrect. If I could like transfer it to the other side, it would help. But basically we're going this way into the pattern. Okay. So our first row of color is going to be the red. The first one that appears into the white is going to be the red. So that would be, and let me just double check which row that is. So what I've done is I've put 1s to represent these rows here, the top rows, and 0s to represent the bottom rows. So when you're adding a bead in the next row, so that's actually that one there. Yeah, so I'm at the top. and the red is a 1. So that should work. So then we're going to have to put this where we can see it. And we're going to need the beads. So we have our red delicas. And we only need 3 of those. I did leave out this sample here because I put on this one here, you can see there's a green bead next to the red one and a green bead further out on that side. And I kind of like this better, but you know what? You can leave out this green delicate here. So that's why I had this one out to show you what that looks like in case you want to change it. So, and let's get our greens. And you don't need too many of those either. Okay, so we're coming down this way here. So we need to be in position to put one of those 1s in here. So that's this one here. So we need a white, a green, a red, a white. So a white, white, a green, before we go forward, I'll just double check this. So we're right here. So if you put your needle, you can see where those are represented like that. So you need white, green, red, and white. So let's get the red. Did I not do enough here? Or am I maybe off? Yeah, white is the last one. I thought it was green. So, just like that. Okay, now the next row is this. Do you know what? I'm going to bring this out a bit. See if we can get a better lighting on that. Okay. So we are down. So we came down. So now we're on this one. No, we're on this one. So we need a white, a green, a red, a white. Green. And a red. And a white. I would have like practiced more so it'd be easier to show you, but then you wouldn't get this by Christmas. So I thought if you wanted to do something special in the lead up to Christmas, okay. So now we're right here. So we need a white, a green, a red, a white, white, green, red, white. green, and red. And a white. There. Let's get this unhooked. Like that. Okay, so the next should be a 0, which would be this one. So we need a white, a green, 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 white. So that one's pretty easy. White. Just that little tighter here. And move these greens where I can reach them. Green, 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 there. Now we're on the ones. So we need, where we just did this one, so we're here. So we need a green, a green, a green. That's what starting with a white. White. And 3 greens. When I do designs for peyote, because I've done really intricate designs before, I've used, I write them out. So I write 1 green, 2 green, like this kind of thing. And of course, that's really easy to follow. But it's not very practical because you do want to see what it looks like. So I guess I got to do some more investigation. Okay, so now we can kind of follow the pattern too now. So this was this one here, so now we're on this white. So we need a white, a green, a white, a green. White. Green. And like I said, you could do double these. White. So you could put 2 of these on there. I was hoping that I was, skilled enough to showing you how to do that. Do you know what? We're going to make some more of these cups. These are hilarious. So we're definitely going to do some more. We'll do some really funny stuff on them, like little cat faces and stuff like that. We could do like a pumpkin latte and do like an actual, instead of a mug, do like a coffee cup. That would be funny. Okay, so the next one is the ones. And I think the only part, so we have our 2 up here and our 3 there. So I'm just looking to see, we have everything. The only one we're missing, we have that one, is this last one here. So everything's white now. That. Like that. It's funny, we were out today and being Friday, there was a lot more traffic on the road and stuff. People were in a hurry and whatnot. And I'm just curious to know, like, how people are, like, are they busy because of the upcoming holiday, trying to get things done? When you're retired, so I'm going to put this aside. We don't need this anymore. That is done. And we will get through this. So yeah, I'm curious to know. Yeah, I'm sure most of my subscribers are my age, so they're probably retired, but I would imagine you're busy with grandchildren and stuff. Some people are still working, I understand. So there. And then we just keep going. So now we can flip it. Not a big deal. So when I'm counting rows too, this is another thing that I've just kind of figured out on my own, and you can correct me in this. I would not be offended. It's hard to be offended when I don't know much about peyote compared to some people that have been doing it. But what I do is I count how many rows are at the top and how many rows are at the bottom to give me my. So I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I made notes here. You should have 18 on the top, 18 on the bottom. So it's a little ways yet. I would say, okay, continue and then come to this one here. But as I say, this one was 2 rows, that's it, 2 rows too much. And because I cut the thread, I can't even see where I put it together. So that's not going to work. So we'll just see what we got here. Again, this is a lot faster when you're doing it yourself. Trying to do this on cameras, I'm getting better at it, but it's definitely challenging. That bead does not want to go on. But it goes fast. So I have a pause on this camera. So I will pause it and I will continue on. And hopefully this works. Otherwise, I'll be doing another video. Okay, so continue on. You want to have, how did I say, 18 rows? Yeah. So 18 beads, both at the top and the bottom. It should be even. And come back and I'll show you how to put it together and do the rest of it. Surprise! I'm back, so I'm guessing the pause button worked. Yay! So look at, some elves were busy. So I did manage to get another holly berries and leaves in there. And you know what? It was a lot easier the second time around. So I think it was just trying to figure out this design was a little confusing initially for me. So we have our strip. Let's take a look. If you look and if you count how many beads you have at the top and at the bottom, you should have 18, which would essentially be 36 rows. of stitches if you were to like count them individually. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take and you're going to fold them like this. Let me get my needle here. I'm going to pull this stop bead out of it just so that it's out of the way so we can see what we're doing. So just fold it like this, and let's enlarge this a bit and get your needle. So now what you're going to do is you're going to weave, or on this side, just get this straightened out. So we're going to weave in each bead. Yeah, there you can see a little better. So we're coming out of this bead, it's a low one, and this one is a high one. So that's the other thing when you're doing peyote too. If you have the exact amount of beads on the bottom as you do on the top, then you're ready to stitch it together. But if you come up against where you look and you're like, oh wait, I have one bead here and one bead here, then you need to do one more row so that these alternate, so you can kind of see and zip them up together. So we're going to take our thread from the back one, go to the front one that's sticking out like that. Now you can do this on an angle like this, and it just goes really quick. So you're going to pick up that one there as well, pull it through, and you don't have to pull tight yet. Okay, so then bring your thread to the other side, and you're going to go to the next sticking out bead on the front and the sticking out bead on the back. There, it's a little easier to see. Sometimes it's hard with white beads. Okay, so bring it back. You're going to go to the sticking out bead on the front to the sticking out bead on the back, like that. Pull it in. Sticking out bead on the front to the sticking out bead on the back, like that. And then this is the fun part. So you can see they're still sitting side by side. We're going to pull this tight and it's going to pop them in together like that. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? I always love that. So then we also have to attach these two beads. So go back in. And what I like to do is weave back and forth to get that nice and snug. But look at that. That's amazing. Okay. So now I am going to just go in a square direction so that this thread is locked in. Like that. And let's see where my thread is. Geez, I'm having a hard time seeing. So I'm just going to go on an angle. I will finish coming out of one of the end beads there. Okay, so we'll save that thread on that for adding things later. In the meantime, we're going to take our needle and we're going to sew in our tail. And that's pretty easy. So I used a wingspan. I have quite a bit of thread left, so you probably could get away with, a little more than half a wingspan. So I took my stop bead off. I'm going to thread this. Maybe. I'm having a hard time seeing it. I think it's not enough light. There. So this one's not necessarily structural, so you can do whatever you want with it. I would probably go to the next bead. Looks like there's a space there. No, there's a thread, but oh, this is really hard to see. So I'm just going on an angle. I'm looking to see if this camera has gone out of focus. So I'm just going to do like that square. So you're just going around in a square pattern to lock in that thread. So this time I'm going to go down quite a few beads and go to the other end like that and just cut that off. So that one's ready. Take my needle off, cut this. Now, this is what you have. Nice little circle for your cup. So now we need to make the handle and the candy cane. And we also need to make the cocoa. So let's start with the bottom. And let's start with the cocoa. You'll be able to see it better. So that's better. I saved some marshmallows. You only get 5 marshmallows. I used to put a pile of marshmallows. We don't need that many beads. I'm getting a little silly. It's the holiday season, you know. So you don't need a lot of thread for this. We're going to put a total of, I think, 16 beads. So you can imagine there's not a lot you need. So thread your 9mo on there. You're going to pick up 4 beads. That would be 3. There's your 4 beads. Take it down to the bottom. And we're going to tie this in a knot. That. And I put 3 knots. I never trust 2. That's how I roll. There. Not going anywhere. So we can cut that tail off. I think the camera is going out of focus. Huh, maybe not. Okay, so now we're going to take and add a bead in between each of these beads. But I'm going to start by, I'm going to get away from this knot here. Start by going through the first one just by itself. Pick up a brown bead. These are 11/0s Czech beads. They're round. Put that one in there. Grab another and go through here. And I pull them in so that they pop in between the beads. And the next one, that. Like that. Now this won't make a complete circle or a round, but once you put it in the cup, you don't notice it. So it's sitting funny. I think it's just where the knot is. There. So that's what it should look like. So now we're going to go through this corner bead here. And we're going to add 2 beads together. And we're going to skip that one there. We're going to go through the next corner bead. And we're going to do that all the way around. And that's going to give us our little circle. Somewhat of a circle. That. Pick up 2. And go through that corner. The next corner, that is. And you don't have to pull these hard. They're just going to sit in between. Pick up 2. Go through the next corner bead. And my thread came off. So that's what you have so far. Get this guy back on. I can't believe this came off. Imagine that. The nerve. This is really annoying about the lighting. I'll have to look into that. Okay, so our last 2. So it's hard to tell where your corner is now. But if you just look closely, you're going to skip the 1 bead and then go through the next one. And I'm going to go through the next bead just because we're going to tie off. So, and that is your circle. That's all you need. It will sit nicely in your cup. We can just like that. So you can see once we put everything in there, it'll sit nicely. I mean, that one looks square, but I think I might have been a little hasty. So you could see. Okay, so let's do the marshmallows. You can place your marshmallows wherever you want. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab, let me turn this like this. So coming out of that bead, I grabbed a marshmallow, which is a delica. And I'm just going to go across to this bead here. Like that. Super simple. Where I'm going to put the next one. Let's go through this bead here in the middle. Pick up a delica and I'm going to go across to this side here. So that'll should put this one right in the middle. And pick up a delica. So I'm coming out of this bead. I'm going to go into this one like that. We'll put one over on the other side. We've still got 2 left to go here. What the heck? There. Like that. The thread's getting all twisted. I didn't wax my thread, so you see how it curls? You might want to wax it. Okay, I think we need to put a marshmallow here and a marshmallow there. So let's get our... I'm going to weave on the outside. I have a feeling that my knot has loosened because some of the beads look like there's a knot there. But I'm a little concerned, so I'm just going to go through these beads on the edge to get to the other side. That. Let's put, and it doesn't matter if you put it right on the edge, the marshmallow, because you got to remember it's going inside the cup. So let's put that there. Like that. And then the next one right there. I mean, there's not a lot of place to put it. You could put a bunch of these and like actually really load it up like I do when I have hot chocolate. Yeah, let's put here. And do that one. So there is your hot chocolate. So now I'm just going to find a spot to tie off. So let me just go through a few beads here. That. And let's go through these. And I'll put a little knot here. Like that. There. And weave my thread in. And we can take that off and clip this. So there's your hot chocolate. We'll put that there. I just think this is so hilarious. We're going to have to do some more miniatures. They have a television show, a reality show on how to make miniatures, and I think it's actually produced in Canada because they usually have quite a few Canadians, but they have Americans too, so it's really a lot of fun. So now we need some white 11-0 beads to do the circle without the marshmallows. This is going to be the bottom of your cup, so again, we don't need a lot. So now we'll grab some white thread, crystal. I won't take as much this time. And get that on the needle. So I thought I'd start with the chocolate so that you could see it better, but who knows? The screen's pretty dark. So pick up 4 of your beads, bring it down to the end, make a knot like that, and another knot. One more, good measure, and just clip that. Okay. Oh, that's what you have. Let's pass through the next bead. Pick up a bead. Go through the next bead. And the white looks better than the dark chocolate. Easier to see, I mean. So, put bead on there. There. It's your next bead. There. I knew, look what happened. The knot came undone. And I pulled it out when I pulled that through. So let's just cut that off. And we'll start over. Okay, start with 4 beads. And then the beads don't want to go on. They don't want to play. Okay, let's try this again. There. I pulled it from the other side, so it kind of anchored that knot in place. So you can always leave this as well. You know what? Let's do that. It's another way of doing it, is leave that and then we can cut it at the end once everything's in. So let's go through the first bead. And that'll give us something to hang on to. Pick up a bead, go through the next one. Pick up a bead, go through the next one. Pick up a bead, go through the next one. Pick up a bead, go through the next one, and you're going to go through that corner one as well. Let's turn it here. So that's what you should have. So the camera was going in and out of focus. I was pretty sure it was. I am so sorry. I'm going to review this video before I put it out, and I may have to redo the entire video. Hopefully not, but that's no fun. So I put 2 on and go to the next corner bead. So pick up 2. So you're coming out of this corner bead, you're going to go through this corner bead. If you're confused where your corners are, just remember, skip 1 bead in between the beads. Pick up 2, go through the corner. That. Pick up 2 and go through this corner. And I'm just going to go through that bead. We're going to go around one more time just to reinforce it. Go through all of these. That, and we'll get them in nice and snug. Like that. Okay. So I'm going to leave this thread on because I will attach this to the bottom of the cup using this thread as my attachment. So in the meantime, I'm going to clip this. Okay, so we don't need these anymore. Let me scoop those out of the way. Okay, so where's our cup? Here's our cup that we made. And we're going to take, actually before we put this in, we'll put this in at the end, like before we put the chocolate on. We'll put this one on first. So let's move that out of the way. And what I used was a pencil to hold this open. So we could slide that there. It kind of fits. It's a bit loose on the pencil, so actually maybe a marker. This one might be the right size. No, too big. See what this size is. Oh, that's perfect. There we go. So that just makes it easier to maneuver. So what we're going to do is we are going to place this on here. Now it's going to go in a bit like that. So what you're going to do is you're going to find, we're going to start by coming in through the inside. I want to be coming up through the last row of delicas. So I'm going to get my needle in between there. You can attach this however you want to attach it. It doesn't have to be the same way as I'm doing. This was the way I felt it looked best. I definitely felt it looked nicer tucked inside like that. So now we are down. So I'm going to go from the bottom up in one of those last row delicas. That. Then pick the next bead like that. I'm going to put my finger on that so it doesn't move around. So this is a bit awkward to do. It's hard to show you on camera. I think because of the pencil. It's too, or the marker's too long. Okay. So I'm just judging from where it's sitting, which bead to come through. So I'll probably want to come up this delica here. So take your needle and put it on the inside of the peyote strip. This. And then go up that delica. That. Pull it snug. And just turn it a bit. So we're coming out of this bead here. I think I need to take it off this. Let me see if I have a shorter pencil. Or a bead cap of some sort. I wonder if this will work. That looks too thick. Yeah. So I didn't think of that when I was preparing everything. Let's go back on here. I'm going to pull it forward here. See if I can do this off of the bead mat so that you can see the top. Okay. That's better. Okay, so threads coming out of this one. I'm going to go to these two beads here and come out here. I'm just going to put my finger on that while I get the thread through. Okay. Thread on this side here. Okay. So we want to come through here. Actually, let's go through this bead. So I'm going into the inside, but just underneath those two. Like that. Let's bring that out there. And go up the delica. We'll pull it tight in a sec. Go through this bead. It's got my bead mat. There. So I'll go through these two here. That. Go up this delica. And go through this bead here. And you can do this at the same time. So go through the bead and through in between the two rows of delicas. That. Go up this delica. Go through this bead here, the bottom bead. So then put your needle through the next set of delicas. go up that delica. That. Go through your 11-0 and pass in between those two beads here of the delicas. Like that. Go up the delica. Go through the bead, the round bead, and just about done here. Go through these guys. Go up through this delica and just put that in. Let's go through this bead and down through these two. So now I'm going to just go up and down the delicas because it's sewed on all the way through. So let's show you what I have. So that's what I have on the bottom. So let's just hang on to this. It's good because it keeps the structure too. So it's nice. So yeah, let's just tie off this thread. So I'm going to go through a few of the delicas and do that square pattern so I can lock in my thread. Like almost out. There we go. That. And I'm just going to go all the way through those beads to the top. You could actually use this thread again. There's enough thread to put the chocolate on. So but you know what? Maybe we'll use this to put our bead in. So now we have to put the bead in. You can do your candy cane and your handle and attach that before you finish it off. It's just a matter of choice. So let's come down a bit because we're going to pass through the whole of the bead, but we're going to pass through side to side. So let me go down a few here. Come out there. Okay, now I'm just going to go in and I'm going to move that hole. Yeah, let's do this. I'm going to pull it through and then go to the other side. And that'll straighten out the hole and set that in there. You don't really have to set it in there because once we put the top on, it's not going to matter. Go through there. See if I can go through that hole again. I did. That's good. Like that. And I'm going to go through on an angle. And we have enough thread to attach the chocolate. So I think we're going to do that. That. So I do find like the chocolate, I kind of wanted the chocolate to sit a little higher so you could see it from the side. If you put it too far down, then you can't really see it. So I'm going to go down just one delica like that. And then I'm going to put my needle through so I can start grabbing the chocolate. It sounds so weird. It's my chocolate, you can't have it. And that's where we had the knot, so it's a little snug. Okay. So let's go through here. That. Go up this delica. And let's go down this one. Go through here. And I'm going to pick the chocolate at the same time. And then come through and go up. Let's go down this one. I'm going to go through here and grab hold of that lovely chocolate. I'm going to go through the next bead as well. And I'm going to try and get my, no, I don't want to do that. I want my needle to go in between the beads, and then I can go up the delica. So we just have to complete this part here. So let's go through this one. Let's see if we can go down and pick that chocolate. Yeah, that's going to distort everything. I'm going to do it this way. So you have to be careful if you tilt that final row of your delicas too much, it'll mess it up. There. Okay, now let's just double check. Make sure everything's in there. Yeah, it seems to be. So now we can come down on an angle through these beads and tie this off. So when I'm doing peyote for tying off, I just do that, square, locking everything in. Thread like that. Through here. And that should be it. This is so hilarious. Like that. Like that. And your lovely little holly. So now what we'll do is we will put the handle. Now, you know what? When I did these, I wasn't paying attention because I added the extra holly. But you probably want to put these on so that they, I hung it off the handle. You probably want to put these on so that there's like a right side and a left side with your earrings. So let me see if I did this correctly. So yeah, so we put our candy cane on this side and our handle on this side. It'll work out because you could do it this way too. Okay. Let me just double check that. Because I left the biggest space there. So if we do it, yeah, handle here, candy cane. So handles on the big space. Okay. That's what I was trying to see. So let's clip this one off. And I will show you how to make. Let's grab this. So this extra thread, I used it to make the candy cane and the handle so that I didn't have to do them separate. You can make them separate. And let me think about that. I may change my mind. You can definitely make them on their own and then attach them is what I'm getting at. So let's do the handle first. So you're going to need your round 11-0 beads again. Let me grab these guys. I had them out. Some thread in here. Okay, so we're going to start. You're coming out of, so you want to make sure you're coming out of an area where you're going to attach it. So it's kind of in the center between the two holly leaves, which is fine. And that's kind of where we want it. So you're going to pick up 4 11-0s. You're going to bring them all the way down. That. And you're going to come back through the first 2. Like this. Like that. Pull them down. So it's going to create this. We're going to do like a herringbone stitch or ladder stitch, maybe it's called. So you can see it's too far away from the cup. Just take your fingernail and pull it down. And it goes down. So now what I'm going to do is we'll hold it like this so you can see. I'm going to pick up 2 beads and I'm going to go down through these here and I'm going to go through the cup as well. So the first set of the delica on the cup, and this is what will happen. Just get this one to flip over like that. And there's the beginning of your, so now you're coming out of this delica here. You're going to go up this delica and up through all these beads. So all 3, like that. So the delica plus the 3 11-0 round Czech beads, like that. Pull it snug. And I think I made notes on how many to do of this, but this is up to how you want your cup handle to sit. So on this one, the cup handle is, I kind of had it like angled a bit. So I went through the second set of beads to squeeze it into the handle and then a bit rounded here. But, you could make it even more rounded. So you could add more and then have it go up and then come down a bit. There's so many variations. So what did I say? Handle 8 rows. So there's 3. So we'll probably do 9. So now we'll just go down through 2 of the beads while we're adding 2. Just hang on to that. Let's flip that one over. That. So go up 3. Like that. Pick up 2. Go down 2. Like that. Go up 3. Pick up 2. Go down 2. That. That one over. Go up 3. That. So you can like check. Now I'm doing mine super tight. You can tell it's tight. I kind of wanted it that way. but you might want a little more so you can round it. So 2, 4, 6. Yeah, I think if we did 3 more rows, it would bring it to the bottom of the cup. So let's just keep going. Pick up 2, go down to that. Go up 3. That. Pick up 2. Go down 2. Like that. Go up 3. Pick up 2. This should be the last 2, but we'll take a look and see. So you've got 2 on. Go down 2 beads. That. And up 3. In there. Okay, let's take a look at what we have. Yeah, this, I made it too tight at the beginning, so let's try and move those a bit. I think we need more. I kind of want them to match, so I had to be careful. I think my tension was looser on this one. So let's do one more set. Okay, up 2, go down 2. Then you're going to go up 3. And you're going to come down. And we're going to attach the bottom. So like that, get it in line. So our thread is coming out of this side here. So we're going to go through and just kind of lining it up, eyeballing it a bit. So I'm going passing through 2 delicas there. So we'll get that in like that. And let's go over 1 and then down through the delica that's right next to the one we're coming out of. It's really hard to see. It's easier when you're doing it yourself. And just pull that in. Now we're going to go up. We're going to pull that in some more. There, like that. Then we're going to go up through that bottom bead. Go down through that same delica. So let's, yeah, I really did a tight tension on that. That was not smart. I get so excited. I can't help myself. Carmi sent me a new package of beads. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I definitely feel like we need to get the 2 bottom rows of beads attached to the mug so that it gives it this nice curve. So let's go through the 2 beads here. And then we will go through the second row of the second delica from the bottom and go through the bottom as well. So that should pull it in, yeah. And it doesn't have to be pulled in a ton, but so let's go in through here. Pull that tight. We're going to go across to this second bead here and come down. And then we're going to go up this delica and we're going to go through the second one there because we're going to hook into that second bead on this side. This one here. Go like that. And that should pull it in. Like that. A little bit different from the other one. But who's keeping score? And the bead is really pushing through. Okay, so let's take this thread and we're going to make our way to the other side and we're going to add our candy cane. So I'm going to go through the beads to do that, like that, on an angle. And up through the top one. And we'll go just through the top ones to make our way over. Like that. Because we want to position this one nicely. We don't want it to cover our holly leaves and berries. So yeah, let's go over to about here. Now let's look at the other one to make sure we're making opposites. So yeah, so the candy cane should come up around and angle in towards the holly berries. Okay, let's move these guys out of the way. We need our 15-0 red and white beads. You don't need a lot. I think I counted 15 for 14 rows. So you'll need 15 of each color. And again, this one you can do separate and then attach it. But I don't like changing the... Okay, let me double check here. So this should go this way. Okay. I don't like changing the thread. Can you tell? You know what it is? It's such a small thing. If you start adding like thread for finishing and starting, when you could do it all with one thread, why not, right? So the candy cane is basically the same thing as we did for the handle, only they're smaller beads, so it's going to look different. And we're going to be careful to do opposite every time. So pick up a red, pick up a white, pick up a red, pick up a white, and then bring it down. That, and you're going to go from the bottom up, pass through the first two. Like that. Bring your thread all the way through. So you have this little... these two 15-0s are different sizes. Who knew there was different size 15-0s? So the white ones are bigger than the red. Once we get it done, you're not going to really notice that much. But I thought it might help to look like it's swirling, but yeah, just it's hard getting all the right sizes. So you could use a bigger bead too if you had to. So just slide it down using your nail. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing as we did on the last one. So now take a look at what you have. So you have a white, so you make sure you do a red and a white. Go through these two, and we're going to go through the cup as well on this one. So go down through that delica like that. And get that flipped over. So now cross over to the next delica. You go up the delica and through those 3 beads that you've added. And we're going to do this for 14 rows. So we have 3 already. Pick up a white. That was a test. Pick up a white and a red. Go down 2 beads like that. Cross over, go up 3 beads. That. There. Pick up a red and a white. Go down 2 beads. Up 3. Pick up a white and a red. Go down 2 beads. Go up 3 beads. Like that. Pick up a red and a white. There. Go up 3. I was checking the camera. That's why I missed my needle going through. It's like juggling, by the way, when you're doing videos. It's exactly what it feels. I was a theater arts student, and that's like a prerequisite you have to learn to juggle. So, needless to say, I was juggling everything and everywhere and anytime. Jugglers juggle. But yeah, that's what this feels like. It's like you have a bunch of balls in the air and you have to keep your eye on every one and react quickly. And that's what this is like doing videos. Because I'm working on a project here, I'm checking the camera to make sure it's at focus and stuff, and make sure my hands are in the right position. So you can see how lovely this is coming along. So this is, look at, it's our kitty cane. Okay, so what do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, and I said 14. So 6 more. Go down 2, up 3, and a white and a red. If you have any ideas for stuff like this that you want to see, feel free to Put it in the comments. I'm always up for a challenge, and I was so giddy that, like, I saw the lady at the pool wearing, like, they were just plastic little things that she got at the dollar store, and I was like, I could make that in beads. I told my wife, you know what she said? Of course you can. We have a big discussion. We have a older car right now, and she's like a car person. She knows all the stats of all the different cars and stuff like that. I couldn't be less interested. The way I look at it is like, I tell her this too, it's got 4 wheels and a steering wheel, and it moves. That's all I care about. So I told her the last time we bought a car, we had like a lot of discussions about the car. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So 3 more rows. Yeah, so I told her when we bought the last car that after this, you can pick. Just tell me how much and I'll pay half. And she said, I'm going to hold you to that. I'm like, yeah, no problem. It's like, if you can take me out of the equation, I'll be happy. I'd go to pick her up from work because I was retired before she was. Go to pick her up from work. And she'd say, yeah, move over. I'm going to drive. I'm like, where are we going? She's like, oh, you'll see when we get there. I'm like, no, I don't like this game. Tell me where we're going. You'll see. That is definitely not the right bead. Yeah, test drives for cars. We must, the guys at the dealership must have hated us. She knew more than they did about cars. That part was fun. That was hilarious, actually. She'd be like, no, I think you're wrong on that one. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be funny. Is she going to make them cry? They're so funny, right? They like, there's a woman telling me knows more stuff than I know. So I think we need to do 2 more on this. That's lovely. So when I told her about she could pick the car, just kind of leave me out of it, but of course she doesn't. She tells me stuff. We're on the way to the pool and stuff. She's telling me all about these cars. I'm like, am I snoring? Oh wait, my eyes are rolling in the back of my head. If it's not beads, I'm not interested. So we started talking about colors for the cars, and I was like adamant about certain colors, and she's like, no, you told me that I could make the decision. I'm like, about the car, not the color. So she's like, well, I'm gonna get a white car or something like this, right? She makes like a unilateral decision, and I'm like, okay, but you better be awake all the time, because one morning you're going to wake up and you're going to go out to the car, and I will have put Swarovski crystals all over the car. She's like, you better not. Watch me. She doesn't know me very well. I wouldn't waste my Swarovskis on a car. Bucket. I think we're done. Yeah. I'm wondering. Yeah, I think that's it. Right to the bottom. Okay. So this is again like we did on the other. I do want it on an angle so it looks kind of cute, like it's hanging off the cup. So let's go into this delica here. like that. And let me just grab this white one here and see if that does what I want it to do. Kind of want it to sit on an angle here, like that. Let's go up this delica, come through 2 delicas, like that. And I'm going to go down to, wonder if I did 3, what that would look like. No, I think 2 is enough. If I do 3 beads and tack it down, it will look too much like a handle. I want it to look like a candy cane. Let's go to there. And let's go down 3 on this side. That. There. This is so hilarious. I just you have to tell me, be honest. Do you think this is cute? I think this is hilarious. I just absolutely love this. So now I'm going to bring my thread up to the handle, between the cup and the handle, because that's where I attach this one here. So I kind of want to do the same for that. So I'm just going through the delicas on an angle, like that. There. Go through these 2. And I'll just go up and down the top edge to get my thread over to the handle, like that. And up through this one. And I think I attached it in between the first 2 round beads on the handle. Let me see if I can get there. We can get through it that way. And there. Just yeah, I think that's good. That. So either way, either side's fine. So now let's do the finishings. Let's grab our findings. These are different ear wires. Look, I must have put them in the same container. So let me grab those. That's what I needed, not this one. Oh, they're side by side, that's why. Okay, so we have our head pin. So I'm just going to clip the piece off. And I'm going to make the tiniest hole. I don't want it to be too prominent. So I'll just turn, and bend it like that. Oh, this camera. Oh, you know what it was, because I changed it from up close, so I lost my focus. Okay, so let's attach our ear wire. Kind of doing it backwards. Usually the ear wire is the last thing you put on. And that's so not in focus. There. So now we need to close this ear wire. I'm just going to try and bend it a bit and open that. Oh, that's exactly what I didn't want to happen. No! Go back. There. Okay. So we're going to put on a crystal, green crystal, then our ribbon. Okay, we'll try that again. And our ribbon. And then our next crystal. Then our bead cap going upside down. So everything's going upside down. Then our bead that we got out of our stash. And then that. And now we just need to make a loop. So I think we probably have a little extra on this, so we could just cut that off. And get our... I don't think we're going to need this much wire. I should have started from the bottom. Yeah, we don't need that much. So I'm just going to cut a little bit of that off. Don't try this at home, kids. I'm not a professional. Just turn that. And I'm going to make sure that this wire is absolutely closed, because we're going to thread it, we're going to sew through it. And these ear wire, or these head pins, are super loose, so they're soft, so they're moving around a lot. So let's get rid of some of this stuff. So just go through that. So I'm just going through the delicas here. Let me just go through this delica, and I think I'll move to the handle. Let's go over one, pull that up. Go through to the other side. Let's see where, through here. Now I'm going to go through the first two beads on the handle and secure the loop here. Go up. We'll go through it a few times. 2 is probably enough since we already went through the other. Oh, I'm going to go through here. We're all hooked like that. Okay. Okay. Go through the bead on the handle. That should do it. There, lovely. I still think it's hilarious. Hot chocolate, anyone? Who's in? Okay, let me just get rid of this thread here. And I'm just doing going across 1, up 2, cross 1, down 2 in that square pattern. My needle is so bent, you would not believe. I'm gonna come out here, it's driving me nuts. My cup's looking squished there. Okay, let's just go through here and tighten that a bit so it doesn't get out distorted. And that. And we are done. So I apologize, this is like a 2-hour video. I didn't mean for that to happen. I kind of felt like it might because there's a few steps to this, but it's kind of nice to have it all in one. This untangled here. So there's the one. So I thought we might have been on the wrong side. Let me see. Yeah, so we'll just move the ear wire to the, actually, you know what? We'll just turn this. Okay, that's, should be this way. So there, it's lovely. How's that? That's crazy. Let's bring that in. There we go. Ta-da! Take care, everybody. Thank you for joining me, and we'll do some short videos soon. Yeah, but that's the way it goes. Take care. Bye.